Hello everyone, this is Cesar, and today we are in luck for two reasons. The first one is because after going through all my guitars, the only collateral damage left is this, okay, in my custom Telecaster original 60s. And the second reason why we are in luck is because you are going to have the opportunity to see this beautiful guitar. We will have to go through an entire setup. By the way, see that I found the ball here in the case. Well, I remember perfectly that the set I had installed in this guitar was an Ernie ball. I don't know if it was a slinky or a super slinky. Let me check. Yeah, super slinky 9 to 42. Very rare because I always string 10 to 46 and Darius. The reason why this guitar has an Ernie ball set is because, well, I mean, I broke a string here in the studio in Brickell recording, and someone was having this set and I got it. By the way, it is not the first time it happens to me in the Ernie balls that they lose the ball. Actually, they break here for whatever the reason it is, where the ball is, right, at the end of the string or at the beginning of the string, basically. Well, anyway, I may have had bad luck with Ernie balls, so we are going to go back to what it should be, which is the good old Darius XL 10 to 46, and we are gonna forget about Ernie balls. In my experience, the short experience I have with Ernie balls, they break here at the ball, right? Ernie ball breaks at the ball. I'm sorry to say that. Well, anyway, let me show you something about this guitar that not everybody knows. So you see that in the headstock it says Fender Custom Telecaster, right? It is a different thing than a Telecaster Custom. A Telecaster Custom has a humbucker, right? And the Custom Telecaster is a Custom Telecaster. So first thing is, Custom Telecaster is not the same than Telecaster Custom. Humbucker, remember that. I replaced the string tree with one of those from Graphtec. I hate the classical string tree in the Telecasters and in the Fender Stratocasters because it's really very rough. I have it on the case, right? So, because I like to keep my guitars kind of original, right? But the idea is that I much rather prefer these string trees. By the way, I don't know if you have seen the case, but the case looks like Dracula's coffin, actually. Okay, so let me show you. Well, what do you think? Don't tell me. Looks like Dracula is gonna come immediately after opening the case. It's one of those original G&G cases. And inside the case, the expected goodies and whatever. By the way, this one comes with a certificate of authenticity over there. And well, I keep everything here on the case, the ashtray thing, whatever. I always put a microfiber cloth, so for the sweat and so on. And this is the micro tuner that I always carry with me. Anyway, beautiful coffin-ish case for our original 60s custom Telecaster. Well, so let's get started. By the way, I found this, which is a brand new Tusk nut in the case. I remember now that I wanted to change the nut of the guitar because of the string spacing. The string spacing is a little bit wonky here in this original nut, but hey, we didn't do it at that moment because we had to leave for Europe and so on. The ones who follow my channel know about it. We will do it, we will make it for another video. Now, the idea is that we are gonna take the pickguard off the guitar because there's something that I want you to see. And anyway, we are going to need to do a neck adjustment after we restring the guitar, etc. So I think it's a very good opportunity to show you something that I've watched several videos in YouTube of people who have reissues like this one, right? This is a reissue. I have two. I have this one and I have the 52 Telecaster Reissue, which is a great guitar, it's super battered. It has gone through a lot actually. And everybody, when they have to adjust the truss rod of these guitars, they take the neck off the guitar. And I'm going to show you that you don't need to do that, right? You don't need to do that. You only need a tool. I'm just trying to do this with one hand so you can have a good angle and not a nice shot of my hands actually. So you don't need to take your neck off the guitar. You can adjust the truss rod with the strings on without taking the neck off the guitar. Simply think about the pickguard as a gigantic truss rod cover. And let me show you why. We take it out, okay? These vintage reissues and the original ones don't have the truss rod cavity here. The access to the truss rod is here at the heel, right? Then you don't need to take your neck off the guitar. You simply need a tool like this one that I made myself, which is basically a flat screwdriver bent here on the tip, and then you simply go and access to your truss rod here, and you can adjust your truss rod perfectly without any problem with a tool like this, right? There are commercial available alternatives, right? But I did this myself and it works perfectly. The only thing you need to watch out is the pickup, protect it just in case this angle here, this part here is too long, then you are gonna hit your pickup. Then you take the pickup down, right? And then you basically go inside the cavity of the headstock, protect your pickup with a rag, for example, and just adjust your truss rod. You don't need to take the neck off the guitar to adjust the truss rod in a vintage reissue like this one. I absolutely disagree with the guys that are taking their necks off the guitar, okay? Now, we have the pickguard off. We are gonna leave it like that. It's good that you get a magnetic tray like this. And we are gonna go with a bit of cleaning the fretboard, the frets, they are not that bad at all. We are gonna pass 600 and 1200 as we always do. The only difference is that this time, in this rosewood, we are gonna use a little bit of Ronsonol, bottom line, good old naphtha. Take this rag, put a bit here. It will immediately evaporate, but it will serve us very well to clean our fretboard. Now, going to the cleaning of this guitar. The finish is nitro, though it's not 100% true. Why? Because yes, it's nitro, so this is nitro, right? But it's nitro over a poly finish underneath the nitro. So that's the way it is. Does it make any difference? Well, in my honest opinion, it doesn't. The guitar smells like a nitro finish guitar, especially when you open the case and the guitar has been inside for a while, like it has been the case. Well, I mean, yeah. But it is not a 100% nitro. It's nitro on top, but underneath this nitro there is a poly finish. I'm telling you that. Okay. Now we are going to go through the frets. Let me find the erasers are here. With our fret guard, as always, we start with 600, and after that 1200, and we go through all the frets. 600, it's a great guitar. It plays beautifully. It's pure Telecaster sound. The radius is 9.5, and my other reissue, the 52, is 7.25. If you're not used to the 7.25 radius, sometimes you're gonna find hard playing the first and the sixth strings. If you're not used to, you have the tendency of pulling them out of the fretboard. They slip out of the fretboard if you're used to play guitars that are absolutely flat or have a much higher radius than that, 14, etc. Right? This is 9.5. It's good. I mean, it's good. So 600, now 1200. And well, I've several covers, several lessons on this guitar in the channel. The only thing is that, as all the teles, right, has such a distinctive sound, and some people don't get used to that. It's like you love it or you hate it. I personally think that you can do everything with a Telecaster, honestly. I think it's the perfect workhorse. Right? Still have a little bit of naphtha here in the rag. Now after cleaning the frets, take all the residue off. That's it. Beautiful. I mean, there's nothing more pleasant than playing a guitar with kind of non-sticky frets, or the opposite. I hate when guitars have sticky frets. I really hate it. Okay, very good. Yeah, we're done. Let me just give it a drop of F1 Music Nomad. Again, my fight with the container that has already been perfectly documented, which is the most stupid design in the world. Right? What can we do? One drop, just one drop. For embellishment, let's say, right? Because it's already clean. Yep. And now we go with the dry part of the rag. Look at that. And we're fine. And now we're ready to restring the guitar. As I told you, we are going to use our good old D'Addario XL10246. One of the reasons why I knew immediately it was not a D'Addario set is because the first string in the D'Addarios has a silver bullet here, right? Silver ball. Whilst, what is the bullet here? The one that we got in the case from that string is, oh, it's golden. It fell. I found it. Okay, it's golden, right? So that's one of the reasons why I knew. Restringing a vintage style guitar with vintage style tuners, right? Well, I mean, it has a particular process. I have a couple of videos in my channel. I'm going to put a card here, but I'm going to show you just one string so you can imagine the rest, right? Before we string it with the clean rag, we're going to clean it here, just give it a pass. Yeah. And it has a, as I said, a very particular process, right? Which is basically due to the configuration of the tuners here on the headstock. I'm gonna show you immediately. So the first thing we do, of course, is we pass the string through the body of the guitar, right? Is string through body, this Telecaster. I have one Telecaster that is not a string through body, right? The string goes through the bridge. There we go. Okay, we got it. And now I'm going to give you a better angle from the headstock perspective. So give me just a second. Let me hook the string here. And I'm going to move the camera. Okay, now look at this. These vintage tuners have a slot here in the middle and a hole there in the peg, right? So what you have to do, what I do is I give it a little bit of slack up to the second tuner and I cut it immediately, okay? That's the big difference. Then you pass the string through the hole there, I make it through the slot, I give it a turn, okay, like this, see? And now I simply wind the string, putting pressure down. And that is it. So this is kind of a locking tuner, and I really like the vintage tuners, honestly. Let me show you what I do with the first string, because you can do the toothpick trick, as I call it, right? Now, here you don't have any reference, but hey, it's more or less, you know, you eyeball like 2 and something tuning pegs. You cut your string, you make it go through the hole like this, right? And some people find difficult to keep the string inside the hole while winding it. So you put a toothpick, pressuring the string down, right? Once you have passed it through the slot. So you do this, you pass the string through the slot, give it one turn, okay? Press it down, and now you put the toothpick. So you make sure that the string, sorry, let me show you this angle, you make sure that the string does not leave the slot, and then you start winding the string. Okay, simple. You put it underneath the string tree and just wind the string. And once the string has some tension in it, you can take the toothpick out. You may need or may not need the toothpick for the thinner strings, right? The ones that are not wounded. It's effective, easy, clean, and works. Now that the string has some tension in it, you just take the toothpick out. And you repeat the process with the rest of the strings. So I'm going to spare you from the boring job of the entire restringing, and we will come back later with the neck relief, pickup height, intonation, and all that jazz. Well, the guitar has already strings, it's tuned to pitch. By the way, you may have noticed that the nut is here a little bit blackish, right? And this is because I use a pencil number 2 to lubricate each one of the slots, and on time it leaves a mark. That's the only downside. When you use the pencil, the graphite is gonna kind of tint a little bit your nuts. I don't care, honestly. I find the graphite on the pencil very good lubrication for the string slots. I never use these products that they sell to lubricate the nut and the bridge. I never use them. I have always used the good old pencil number 2. Now, we're going to take a capo, we're going to put it at the first fret, because we are going to start the process, and the order of operation is first neck relief, second string height, third pickup height, and fourth intonation, right? Which is the part that I hate, by the way, the most. For the purist, I'm going to do it now in this guitar at the bench, not in playing position, because of the particular location of the truss rod. I always do it with the other guitars, with the ones that have the truss rod here, at the truss rod cavity here, at the headstock, in playing position, but in this one, we're gonna do it at the bench. Honestly speaking, I don't think it makes a big difference, but I'm making the point because there's always someone in the comment section that I have to block, right? So what can we do? Anyway, capo at the first fret. Now, the eternal discussion about specs, string height, neck relief, pickup height. Neck relief and string height, I mean, the specs from the manufacturers are just the ballpark, right? You need to see what is good for you and what works for you. For me, for example, about neck relief, I think you have seen it in all my videos. I orbitate around 10 thousandths of an inch. We're gonna take our filler gauge, 0.25 millimeters, which is 10 thousandths of an inch, capo at the first fret. We are gonna hit here the last fret, and we go 7th and 9th fret, okay? Is really there. Could get just a bit of tightening. So this is what we are gonna do. So I'm gonna approach the guitar from the back. I can operate here, and then I can give you a good angle. With this one, with this tool that I made myself, I don't need to take the pickup down because it fits perfectly in the cavity. Okay, and now we have to tighten the truss rod. Just a bit. I mean, theoretically speaking, And for the purist, we should now retune, but hey, the difference is really very small. I'm gonna go with the flow. 7th and 9th fret, and it's there. So we are not gonna touch it anymore, right? So string height, let me now just retune. Now string height, for this guitar Fender says 4/64 all across the fretboard. I like to do 5/64 on the 6th string. And this is also something very personal, and it will vary depending on how your guitar is built, right? I measure at the 12th fret. I'm sorry, Fender says the 17th fret. I do it at the 12th fret. And then in our 6th string, we are above the 5/64, so we are going to take the string down a bit. I think with this we will be in the ballpark. No, even a little bit more. Sorry for the earthquake again. I need to find a better position for the tripod. Keep on hitting it. 5/64, and now we are there, right? Now, next string, we are gonna go around the 4/64, which we are there. The next one, we are there. It's a little bit low, so we are gonna just a touch increase the height with just a touch of my hand. There we go. Now Fender wants to come in again. Let me let him in. Come on, Fender. Okay, he ate the chicken. He's happy. Say happy. He's a happy dog. We're there. Now we're there. This is a bit low, the second string, so let me give it just a slight touch. Yep, and now our first string, which is high, and we are taking it a little bit down. We could even go a little bit lower. Opa. Yep. Yeah, we're there. Now we tune to pitch. You see that it has ruined the tuning because we have been tinkering with the height, and we are going to tune, and we are going to do pickup height. Now, pickup height. This is something really very personal, and it will depend on the way you want your guitar to sound. It will also depend if you hear there is a disbalance between the pickups, etc, etc, etc. My recommendation is you go to the manufacturer specs, and then you try with the guitar plugged in, you try. I know what I want in this guitar because I know it. Fender says that you need to keep your bass side on the two pickups at 6/64 and the treble at 5/64. If I may recall correctly, you can look at the specs. But I don't do that. I prefer to have my neck pickup a little bit closer to the strings. This is the way I like the guitar to sound. I use much more the neck pickup than the bridge pickup, by the way. So what I do is 4/64 at the neck pickup, and I do 5 to 6/64 at the treble pickup of the bridge pickup, and it should be really very close. So let me check. That's 4. That's 4. And that's 6. And that's 6. So I'm not going to touch it. In case you need to do it, okay, you use your screwdriver. In these reissues, in these vintage guitars, you have to take your pickguard off in order to action the height, the screws for the height of the pickup, because they are inside the guitar. But it's a simple thing. And now what is left is the part that I hate the most, which is the intonation, and for that I'm going to bring the strobe from the Kemper here at the bench. So let me rearrange all of this. Well, I hope you get a good angle of everything that is going on here. The tuner there on the top of the Kemper, the kind of a strobe, right? I have put the pickguard back off camera, and I have put here a post-it on the, the back of the bridge of the guitar, just in case your screwdriver slips when you're trying to adjust the intonation. Let me just move it this way. When you're trying to adjust the intonation and then you don't hit the finish. Now, intonation. There is a myth going on about guitars with vintage style tuners. I have a video about that precisely. I'm going to put a card here. What they say, the people say, hey, you cannot intonate these guitars. You can, and you can do a very good intonation, and even you don't need even the compensated saddles. They're good, don't read me wrong. Those saddles are not compensated, and you're going to see that we are going to intonate the guitar really very well. Taking account that the perfect intonation does not exist is physics, and is the way the guitar is built. Okay, so now what we do is we fret, sorry, no, we don't fret. We hit the harmonic at the 12th fret in each one of the strings, and then we hit the same note fretted at the 12th fret in each one of the strings, and then we go and check if things are intonated. If we are sharp, means that the scale length between the tuner, between the nut and the saddle is too short, so we need to make it longer, and we need to take the saddle in that direction. And if we're flat, it means that we need to make the distance between the nut and the saddle shorter, so we need to take the saddle in that direction. Okay, it's very clear and very simple. So I've rearranged things here because I was hitting the camera with my body, so I hope that everything is fine. Yeah. 6th string, harmonic, very good, fretted note, very good. Is it 5th string? Very good, very good. 4th string, maybe a bit flat, eh? Tune to pitch, now fretted note, really very good, you see. 3rd string, good, very good. And what's left is the 2nd, maybe a bit flat, let me tune it to pitch, good. This is sharp, so we need to take the saddle in this direction because it's sharp. Oops, you see, continuously hitting the camera. Now we have to tune. You see why I hate intonation. Tune to pitch. Still a bit sharp. I may have been a bit aggressive now. Harmonic tune to pitch. Very good. I can live with that perfectly. Let me recheck. Very good. And now the E. Let's tune to pitch first. Harmonic. Just a pinch. Good. Very good. I think that makes it for a really good intonation in a vintage style bridge. Well guys, the video has been really very long, so you're gonna listen to the guitar in covers, lessons, etc. I hope you have enjoyed. If that's the case, give a thumbs up so you help me recover the channel. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. See you very soon in my next video, and up to that point, please play your guitars, have fun, and be good. Bye.